I'll admit it's a really difficult one because there's obviously birds song that I live for, the Nightingale being one that I spend a lot of time with, but I couldn't listen to that forever and ever, you know, all the time. Right now I'm waking up every morning to the sound of a woodpecker drumming on the lime tree behind my bedroom, and that's the most glorious sound. I, it's the thing is about nature is you can never isolate one particular thing. Is it the sound of curlews or the wind in aspen trees or a stream, a chalk stream babbling? These are things that sonically, collectively create an orchestra. And for me, that is so important, is about when you hear the fullness. If you pulled out one instrument from an orchestra and listened to them play, it'd be like, that's really good, but it's always much more better when in ensemble. So for me, it's so lovely being able to note the sound this time of year in that kind of early beginnings of spring of a great tit. I adore great tit, or the wrens have just started singing at dawn. And they're such wonderful birds for kind of marking moments of the day and qualities of, you know, excitement in the branches. But singularly, I don't have a favourite. Well, I have over my life found, and I'm still working on this, the kind of I believe that everyone has an affinity to a different species, and that might be an earthworm, it might be an elephant. Some people go, I'm very wolf or bear, and like, you know, and like these big furry, you know, strong animals. And I found that we all have bits of our personality that resonate with a quality of a different species, and there are 4 birds that I found that represent for me what I think of as my different elements. So the earth, fire, water and air. And some came very easily and appeared. The first one, and always has been, is, as I'm a water sign, is the heron. And the heron was very present for me, an extraordinary bird that many of which live out and around here as well in the river. And herons have a slow patience. They stand in water and they wait, and they're very lonesome, very solitary birds, and very ancient, very kind of connected to the ancient world, to the reptilian world almost in a way. So I've really kind of identified with that sense of wisdom and slowness and watchfulness of the heron. Then the nightingale comes in as my earth bird, and it's the bird that grounds me, that keeps me connected to the land. They also are birds that nest in the ground. So they live a lot of their life very close to the earth, even though they sing very high up in the trees, but really they live and breed and are born almost on the ground. So they're my earth bird. Then my firebird came to me a few years ago as the buzzard, one of the great eagles of this predatory birds of this country, and that is a bird that has brought a lot of the sense of fire and heat and the sort of wisdom of that element of a bird that's come with a lot of learning and sort of renewal and destruction to bring new. There's a sort of part of the cycle of degrading, destroying that the buzzard has. And then I was long waiting for what's my air bird, what's my air species, and then in a moment of meditation, very early in the morning, I was like, I must find my air bird, and instantly in that moment, a kestrel appeared, another bird of prey, and they hover in the air, so they defy gravity, and they have this wonderful way of kind of holding in the wind. Even in strong winds, they can, like, they're so agile at being able to like hold their space, and they just are air. They become the air. So I realised the kestrel is my air bird. So there are my 4 species. My happy place in nature is, there's a few places. Well, it's always around the fire. I love sitting around a fire. I love sitting around a fire in the morning, on a sunny day in spring, when the birds are singing really strongly, and just that blowing a fire from last night, that there's still a few embers, and to get that fire going, that for me is like my favourite thing to do. I also love climbing trees, and there's a few trees that I love to climb and sit in. I think I'll have to say that my favourite tree is the lime tree, the linden tree, the lipa, um, uh, because that is the tree of my name. So my surname Lee comes from, is a changed name from Polish origin, Lipnicki, which means lime tree. And they are such a beautiful tree, and their blossom is the finest smell in the whole world in June, early July, when they start to blossom. It's potent perfume. Their leaves in the very spring when they come out are delicious to eat. They're really kind of juicy and make great salad. Their bark you can turn into rope and fabric and things, and string. And they're just such an extraordinary and elegant tree, and so many things to love about the lime tree.